Welcome, friends. Today's topic is ancient Greece. Ancient Greece was composed of three parts: mainland Greece in Europe, insular Greece, islands, and Asia Minor Greece, Ionia. The core of ancient Greece was mainland Greece, which was divided into three regions: northern, central, and southern. The climate was temperate, and compared to today, the weather was colder and rainier. The ancient Greeks were never united under one state until the reign of Philip II. There were two main cultivated plants in ancient Greece: the olive tree and the grapevine. The territory was poor in mineral resources, but they had plenty of stone, clay, and marble. Greece became a major center of pottery production. Greek civilization is known as the Crete-Mycenaean culture from 2700 to 1400 BCE, also called the Minoan culture. From 1900 to 1700 BCE was the Old Palace period, in which the role of women was prominent. It was a joyful era without war. In 1700 BCE, this period ended due to earthquakes. About 50 years later, the New Palace period began, lasting another 200 years. This is when the myth of Minos appeared. Minos was the king of Crete, and his parents were Europa and Zeus. His wife was Pasiphae, the sister of Aeetus, the king of Colchis. Aeetus was the son of the sun god Helios. The Minoan culture collapsed in 1450 BCE. During this period, the first Proto-Greeks, the Achaeans, appeared. They were conquerors. At that time, cities like Athens and Sparta emerged. The Trojan War took place in this era. The Achaeans won, and the heroes of the Trojan War were the children and grandchildren of the Argonauts. The Argonauts who came to Colchis were also Achaeans. The rule of the Achaeans lasted from 1450 to 1100 BCE. At the end of the 13th century BCE, the Dorians appeared in the southern Balkans. They were the second major Proto-Greek tribe. They were very aggressive and used iron weapons, while the Achaeans used bronze. Everyone feared them. They overran the Achaeans, destroyed the majority, and enslaved many. From the 11th to the 8th century BCE, the Dark Age began. During this time, the Dorians and Achaeans intermingled. By the 8th century BCE, four Greek tribal groups had formed: Achaeans, Aeolians, Dorians, Ionians. Greek civilization, architecture, philosophy, and art were developed by the Ionians, mainly by the Athenians. The Dorians, who were Spartans, had a powerful military system. All later Greek military successes were largely due to the Dorians. These two tribes became the core branches of Greek civilization. Democracy developed in Greece. Only people who owned land were considered citizens. They built acropolises on elevated ground. People gathered in the agora, marketplace, where they discussed politics and made decisions. Greek democracy was based on elections and short terms of office, unlike other civilizations. There were three types of people living in polis: city-states, citizens, free non-citizens, slaves. Greek mythology formed during this period. They believed in 12 Olympian gods, 6 gods and 6 goddesses, who lived on Mount Olympus. Gods: Zeus, Poseidon, Ares, Hephaestus, Hermes, Apollo. Goddesses: Hera, Hestia, Athena, Aphrodite, Demeter, Artemis. Each polis had its own patron god, chosen as the ruler of a specific domain. Greek gods were similar to humans, unlike the gods of Abrahamic religions. They could be cowardly, fearful, evil, and unfaithful, and the goddesses were no different. People in Greece did not imitate gods morally. They created their own ethics. They also had heroes, including Theseus, Perseus, and Heracles. From the 8th to the 6th century BCE was a time of great development. Pottery culture rose again. Warriors used shields, which were important to them. If a conflict arose, shield-bearers, citizens, had to go to war. This is when the phalanx formation was invented. Using a bow and arrow was considered shameful. They adopted writing from the Phoenicians, and colonization began. In Greek families, property was inherited by the eldest son. The other sons were given ships, food, and weapons by the polis so they could travel, settle elsewhere, and establish independent city-states. Ionians were very active in colonization. They came to our region too, and founded colonies here. The Phoenicians were the Greeks' main rivals in colonization. They had 4 major cities: Sidon, Tyre, Aradus, and Byblos. During this period, the Olympic Games appeared. They were held 292 times, until they were abolished in 393 by the Christian Emperor Theodosius. The Greeks constantly trained for the Olympics. Thank you for watching.